Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the Hummel. It's the German Tier 6 SPG, and we're on the north spawn of Cliff under the command of Stefan El Maestro. Now, something you may not know, which I can see, is that Stefan has got a very high win rate. Very high indeed. So I'm expecting him to do very well in this Hummel. It's got a 15cm howitzer as his main armament, and the battle has commenced. It's based on the Panzer IV chassis with Panzer III running gear, and it's the same chassis that was used for the Nashorn. So the Nashorn actually just has the 88mm gun instead of a 15cm howitzer. So a fairly long reload here, 28.66 seconds. You can also see, and probably if you're looking at the screen right now, that Stefan also has a fairly high rating. So he's a very decent player, and he's just fired a quick round in and relocating from this position just in case he was observed by the enemy Arty. He's going to shoot from somewhere else, and he's being very careful about going down this cliff. Okay, now just wants to find a nice little pocket to shoot from. Oh no, he doesn't want to shoot there. That's a bit too far. Okay, we're aiming for the hill, and just see well no, it's a leopard went up the hill. Tier 5 German light round out. Oh, it zipped past the rear of his vehicle, exploded behind him. And that leopard's having a bit of difficulty trying to get up that road. Doesn't normally happen like that, but here he goes. Now we're not quite loaded yet, and the leopard's just taken some damage, so we can probably get a splash kill on him if we miss him. Oh, bit of reticule bloom there as the vehicle adjusted. He's at the edge of his field of fire, lining it up, ready to go now. Rounds out, and oh, it was just too far away to kill. 21 hit points. It was just outside the field of fire. He needs to center his arc at the moment on that road. If he centers the arc, puts the green line that's down the center, if you look at the minimap, the green line between the two white lines, if you put that on the target, then you won't suffer so much reticule bloom when you re-aim at the target. Now, there was an enemy tank behind those bushes. In fact, there is a KV-1 there, KV-1S, dialed in, rounds out, and oh, again it went right over the turret and landed on the ground behind him. He's not having much luck at the moment with these shots. Again, long reload whilst he's waiting. And the leopard just fired his clip at one of those tanks. I think he fired at C-43 trying to go up the hill, and the KV-1S is emboldened to move forward, and we're almost loaded and going for an overhead shot now. Line up on the KV-1S, work out where he's going to go. Rounds out. Oh, he's putting forward, and again it's just outside the splash zone, so we only get 5 hit points of damage from the splash. And that Oni has made it round as well now, so we've got 2 enemy heavy tanks on our side of the map, and that's 25 TP is a whole world of trouble, and he's just been rammed killed by the KV-1S. So we're loaded, going for the Oni. Round out and direct hit, 229 hit the front plate. We've lost sight of the Oni now. There's nobody spotting him at this side that side of the map at the moment. We're pulling back behind the bushes, and an enemy Arty has been spotted in the north. It's the AMX-13F3, the French Tier 6. Our opposite number. Dialing in from that position, you can just see the tracer as the AMX fired, and that landed almost right next door to the AMX. On the 60 GFT, which is the Chinese tank destroyer. Oh, he's gone. Okay, VK3601H, which is the German Tier 6. Very low armor on that thing, so if we hit it, we're going to do a huge amount of damage. And he's just suffered a massive hit. Round out. This should kill. Oh, and he's dead before our shell arrives. So we're not having much luck at the moment with these shots. And we knocked over that wall. That might give away our position to the enemy Arty, but if they were looking. And the Oni's come all the way down now. He's actually low down, attacking our guys from the rear. That Su-85 trying to get behind the Oni. We're loaded, and we're going to try a shot, I think, but that might damage the Su-85 in the process. We don't really want to hit our own teammate. It's best not to fire when they're too close, because they will get hit by the splash. And he's dead, so we can shoot now. Rounds out, direct hit into the side, and the Oni's actually killed by our Su-100M1. Right, so Panzer IV-H on the cliff above. We're down to just 3 tanks now. 2 tank destroyers and Stefan. And the tank destroyers are an Stug 3G and an Su-100M1. The enemy has 6 tanks, including 1 heavy, the KV-1S. And we haven't seen that KV-1S for a while, but he was in Grid Square C5 a while back. Oh, there's one of the enemy. Oh, we did badly damage that AMX. He's down to 50 hit points and he's moving forward. And although they're quite fast, these little AMX, because they're based on the MX-13 tank, that's a direct hit, wipes him out. The enemy has no more Arty. They only started with 1 Arty anyway, but they've lost all their Arty capability. The T-43 is attacking our Stug. There's nothing we can do about the T-43 at the moment. Yeah, he's got the Stug. And we're being capped. And I think that's going to be the KV-1S. I'm pretty certain it's the KV-1S who's doing the capping. But the capping has stopped. Now that may be because the enemy has decided to no cap kill all. And here comes a Panzer IV-H and we shotgun him for 90. You don't have to worry about an Arty shot coming in because of course there is no more Arty on the enemy team. But we do need to move because the enemy knows where we are now. Unless of course Stefan is intending to shotgun all the enemies who come this direction. I suppose it is possible that it was the Panzer IV-H that was in the cap. Well, we're loaded. That means we do have another chance. Well, here comes the KV-1S. So he is on the plateau above us. I'm not sure if he's close enough to proxy spot us. Probably just a little outside the zone of auto detection. That little circle around our vehicle is the auto detection range. There's a T-28 and we put a round for 162 into him. And he's taking fire, well he's putting fire actually into our Su-100M1. If the Su-100M1 goes down, then we're going to have no one left to spot for us except ourselves. If we fire at the T-28 right now, oh, we've lost the Su-100. If we... Oh, fires around at the T-43 and gets the kill! So it's just 2 tanks left now. The KV-1S was wiped out by the Su-100M1. I missed that, but there's the T-28. He's coming towards us. There he is, and we've got the wreck. So we're firing over the wreck. So if he fires us directly, he might miss. We fire 1 round in. Oh, now we're going to have to scoop because it's going to take us at least 28 seconds. to reload, and he's getting closer and closer, and we're pushing the wreck round to put a barrier between us and that T-28's gun. And the T-28, I think, fired and missed. But now we're having to squeeze our way around the wreck as he's pushing us away. Can we get a shotgun into that T-28? Oh, this is difficult. Yes, we can. And we fire one in, but it's not enough to wipe him out. But it's close. It's so close. And the T-28 is facing the wrong direction. I know we've got 28 seconds before we reload, but the T-28 knows full well that we can keep running rings around him as he keeps trying to turn to face us. He needs to get up against something solid so that he can turn and face us directly without us getting behind. And unfortunately, it's not going to work out for us because we're going to get the shot in and we take him out of the game. Shotgun. 24 hit points. It's now one-on-one. Us against the Nashorn. And as I mentioned earlier in the game, the Nashorn carries the exact same chassis as the Hummel. We've got 2 rounds of ammunition left as well. Now, using all of the concealment that we can find to hide ourselves as we're moving towards the enemy cap area. There's only 3 minutes 54 seconds left on the cap. We've got enough time to cap out, but we do need to get to the enemy cap, because if we don't get there soon enough and start capping, he's saying wish me luck in chat. He needs to get there and cap, because if the Nashorn gets to him, and if he doesn't get there soon enough, then obviously it's going to be a draw if they don't. Past the wrecks of the enemy tanks. There's that AMX-13F3 he wiped out. I wonder where that Nashorn has gone. I suppose there's a possibility he might be AFK. But if he is AFK and still back here, then we would have seen him by now. He could be AFK elsewhere, or he might have fallen over the edge of the cliff. That's happened to me on one occasion. I went over the edge of a cliff, avoiding enemy fire, and wasn't able to recover. Now, it looks like he's going to try and position himself behind that bale of straw for concealment. And I think he's anticipating that the enemy is actually slightly to the northeast. Well, the enemy knows exactly where Stefan is now located, that he is in the cap, and he's probably going to be on his way back if he isn't AFK or over the edge of the cliff. This is one of the few maps where it is possible to get trapped, that you can't get back because you're literally trapped on rocks, no way of climbing back up, no way of getting back to the cap, and if the enemy caps, they win. Okay, more than halfway through the cap, 2/3 of the way through. "20 seconds to go." And that was the last minute hooter as well. So if the enemy gets a reset before time is out. Oh, we've had a request for platoon. 4, 3, 2, 1. He's done it. He's capped out. He's won. He won for his team by capping. So that's an Invader medal at the very least. Well done, Stefan. Let's have a look at the end of battle stats. It's a first-class tanker for Stefan El Maestro in the Hummel. He managed to get a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 11. A fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. He got 4 exactly. And he got an Invader medal. He actually managed to cap out and get at least 80 cap points in the process to win the game. Let's have a look at team scores. Well, he didn't get the highest amount of damage. That went to the T-43 on his team, 1,698 hit points overall. The T-28 prototype on the enemy team managed 1,571. And then we had Stefan with 1,489. When it came to kills, he did have the highest amount. He got 4 kills. The next highest scorers, the Oni and the T-43, both had 3 apiece. And when it came to base experience points, he had the top amount, 902 base experience points. Then came the T-43 with 756. And then the Su-100M1 with 571. He was very unlucky to be trapped in that corner where the T-28 could take him out. If only he'd been able to actually use the buildings, I think he might have been able to retreat away from them. And that might have actually given them a much better chance of killing off the remaining enemy. But as it was, Stefan was able to do the job by capping out alone. Let's have a look at detail reports, see how he got on. Well, he fired 16 shots, got 8 direct hits, 1 penetration, damage, splash damage on 12, damage of 1,489 hit points, of which 1,159 were at more than 300 meters. He damaged 8 of the enemy, killed 4 of them, and did damage assistance of 210 hit points off 8 stuns. He also managed to get 100 capture points for capping out. He earned 39,248 credits on a premium account, and after repair, ammunition resupply and consumables, he had 17,902 credits. He received 1,353 XP, got the same for personal reserve bonus, so he took away 2,706 XP altogether. But I think the main thing about this is not just the fact that he capped out and won. The main thing is how he dealt with that T-28 prototype, or T-28 HTC. Because it was a really, really difficult tank to come up against right at the end, especially when you know that there's 2 enemies out there, and just killing the T-28 may not be enough. But how he did it, he really did use all of his advantages, which of course in this case was speed. The T-28 has got a very poor traverse. He managed to get around the T-28, and once he was behind him, he could shotgun him, and it really only... The only thing the T-28 could have done is backed his rear up against a wall or a rock place, so the Hummel could not get behind him, and then of course he could turn to face the Hummel and shoot him and kill him. But in this battle, I think the T-28 he may have panicked a bit when he realised that Stefan had got the better of him after getting shotgunned the first time, and he didn't do what he should have done. And as a result, Stefan was able to take him down. So really good game by Stefan. Nice to get an Invader medal in an Arty. It's always good fun to get that. So if you enjoyed this replay, please give it a like and do subscribe to our channel. And hopefully it'll be your replay that I'll be featuring in the next video.